universe is a tapestry of endless mysteries, woven with the light of a billion stars. Yet among the vast cold emptiness of space, a single story of survival is about to unfold. A crippled vessel, torn from its celestial path, hurtles desperately through the dark. Inside, the last hope of an unknown world is falling toward a blue, primitive planet. The atmosphere burns around the metal hull, a fiery meteor tearing through the sky. Below lies Earth, wild, untamed, and unaware of the visitor it is about to receive. With a deafening roar, the pod strikes the earth, sending shockwaves through the quiet savanna. Smoke rises like a beacon in the wilderness, drawing the attention of the planet's early inhabitants. Not far away, a primitive ancestor of man halts his daily forage, startled by the noise. Driven by a mix of deep-rooted fear and intense curiosity, he approaches the smoldering crater. Through the clearing smoke, a strange metallic shell rests against the scorched earth. Slowly, the hatch opens, revealing something that belongs neither to this land nor this earth. Inside lies an infant fragile thing, yet breathing the same air. The human ancestor reaches out a rough, weathered hand. Two entirely different worlds touch. In that single moment, instinct overpowers fear. The urge to protect transcends the boundaries of species. He lifts the child from the wreckage, cradling the starborn infant against his chest. Carrying his miraculous power, he journeys back to the safety of the tribe. The tribe is hesitant, whispers and anxious glances meet the bizarre appearance of the newcomer. But the innocence of a child speaks a universal language. Slowly, the fear melts into acceptance. Days turn into weeks, and weeks into months. The alien child grows under the ancient sun. He experiences the wild beauty of earth, the texture of rough bark, the chill of a mountain stream. Everything is alien to him, yet he embraces it with wide-eyed wonder and remarkable adaptability. His earthly father watches over him, teaching him the ancient ways of survival and hunting. In return, the child begins to reveal glimpses of an intelligence far beyond primitive mankind. He traces complex patterns in the dust, mapping the very stars from which he fell. He watches the changing seasons, understanding the rhythm of nature on a profound level. The bond between them deepens. They are no longer just man and alien. They are family. But the earth is a beautiful, yet ruthless mother. Peace in the wild is always temporary. Slowly, the rains begin to fade. The once green savanna turns brown and gray. The blazing sun becomes an enemy, scorching the land day after merciless day. Rivers shrink to muddy puddles, and then to nothing but cracked, baked earth. The gray herds migrate, seeking wetter lands, leaving the tribe behind in a barren wasteland. Thirst becomes a constant agony. The elders grow weak, the children cry in silence. Desperation takes hold. They dig into dry rivers, praying for even a single drop of moisture. But the dust yields nothing. Death seems inevitable, a shadow creeping closer with every sunset. The alien, now older, witnesses the suffering of the only family he has ever known. He knows that brute strength is no longer enough. Survival requires something more. He retreats to the remnants of his crashed vessel, seeking the lost knowledge of his ancestors. His device pierces through the earth, searching for the planet's hidden veins of life. There, miles away, buried deep beneath a rocky gorge, he finds it, a massive underground reservoir. With renewed purpose, he returns to the exhausted tribe, gesturing wildly, urging them to follow him. Trusting him implicitly, the tribe gathers their belongings and begins the arduous journey. The trek is agonizing. The heat beats down relentlessly, testing the absolute limits of their endurance. He helps carry the weak, leading them, like a shepherd guiding a dying flock. Step by painful step, they cross the wasteland, driven only by hope and the alien certainty. Finally, they reach the rocky gorge. At first, it looks as dead as the land they left. But the alien points to a narrow crevice. From deep within, a faint sound echoes. The sound of rushing water. They rush forward, falling to their knees. Sweet, clear water bubbles from the rock. They drink deeply, life returning to their veins. But a new challenge quickly arises. They cannot stay in this rocky, barren gorge forever. They need to return to their hunting grounds. But how can they carry this life-saving water with them? They try cupping their hands, but it spills. They try using large leaves, but they tear and leak. The tribe sits in frustration. The water is right here, yet perfectly out of reach for their journey home. The alien watches them, his advanced mind, analyzing the problem from a different angle. He looks down at his feet, at the muddy river bank, where the water mixes with the thick, heavy earth. He kneels down and grabs a handful of the wet clay, feeling its sticky, malleable texture. Slowly, purposefully, he begins to press and shape it. The humans gather around, watching in pure silence. His thumbs press into the center, creating a hollow. He is forming the very first bowl. He scoops water into the raw clay vessel. It holds, but as the water sits, the mud turns to sludge. The vessel collapses, spilling its precious contents. But the alien does not give up. He knows that to conquer Earth, one must use fire. He shapes another bowl, taking more time, to smooth its edges, making it perfectly round. Then, he carries it over to the tribe's blazing campfire. He places the mud directly into the flames. Hours pass. The flames dance and crackle, baking the raw earth with intense, searing heat. Finally, using 2 sticks, the alien carefully pulls the glowing vessel from the embers. It cools in the night air. The colors change. The soft mud has become as hard as stone. He walks back to the water source, the entire tribe, holding their breath, watching his every move. He dips the fire clay into the cool water. He lifts it. Not a single drop leaks. He drinks from it. It is perfect. A tool born from the union of earth and stars. This simple act of creation will change the course of human history forever. With this knowledge, the tribe begins to mold their own clay, firing it in the flames, mastering their environment. The alien stands beside them, a silent guardian. Together, they walk into the dawn of a new era. Armed with their new earthen vessels, the tribe prepares for the journey home. Upon returning to their ancestral lands, they find the earth still parched and unforgiving. But the Starchild looks at the dry soil and sees yet another profound possibility. He gathers the seeds of wild, scattered grasses, making a shallow, deliberate trench in the earth. He drops the seeds in the soil, one by one, and pours water from his clay pot over them. As the days pass, a miracle unfolds. Tiny green shoots begin to break through the surface. They have not only conquered their thirst, they have taken their first steps to conquer hunger. Years flow by like a swift, unstoppable river. The small, fragile tribe blossoms into a thriving settlement. The alien, now an elder of the village, sits by the fire, his silver hair reflecting the flames. He looks at the people around him, humans working with clay, tending the crops, laughing in the dust. Yet here on this fragile, primitive blue world, he found a warmth the distant stars could never offer. He is no longer a lost traveler from the void. He is the silent father of a human dawn. One quiet morning, the village awakes to silence. The Star Father has drawn his final breath. Grief washes over the tribe like a heavy storm, for they have lost the architect of their survival. They carry his body to the edge of the golden fields, the very fields his hands had coaxed from the dust. Decades pass, the once small settlement expands into a sprawling, bustling village. The story of the boy who fell from the heavens shifts from living memory into sacred legend. Deep in the wilderness, his broken metallic ship remains untouched, a silent, rusting monument. One day, a young, daring descendant of the tribe approaches the ancient, overgrown wreckage. He strikes it with a flint rock. Sparks fly. A sharp, ringing sound cuts through the forest air. Fascinated, he chips away a small fragment, taking the mysterious material back to the village forge. The discovery ignites a brand new era. The age of stone quickly surrenders to the age of metal. Centuries blur into millennia. Empires rise and fall. The story of the alien fades from history into myth. Yet the spark he ignited continues to burn brightly. Humanity harnesses electricity and splits the atom. Finally, the day arrives when they are ready to leave the cradle of their blue protective world. Inside the command module, an astronaut prepares for liftoff, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration. Tucked safely in her personal belongings is a small relic, unearthed from a site older than recorded history. It is a simple, beautifully preserved clay bowl, the very first of its kind, born from fire and mud. The engines roar with the fury of a dying sun. The ship pierces the atmosphere, escaping gravity's pull. The cycle is whole. The children of the dust have finally become the children of the stars.